Welcome to the Backrooms. We once again go into the background information of our favorite topics on Going Obscure. There we go.
Tonight's episode, Biblical Aliens.
Biblical aliens.
Same thing as last time.
Yeah.
Same thing as last time.
What do you mean? Could you explain?
Because we both talked over each other last time on the
Yeah, it's
Backrooms
intentional.
podcast.
Yeah, that we are currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, hopefully you've come here from the main episode. If
That
not,
too.
here's a card.
Wow.
If not, there's an end screen in which you'll hear us doing,
Wow.
laughing and stuff. I don't know.
Because we're
Or-
not very good at this stuff.
Or there's a link in the description below.
And we've been jacked up on juju beans all day
Yeah, pretty much.
for May the 4th.
Yeah, I was eating Legos before we started here. See,
Yeah.
the box said I could finish it in about 6 years. I finished it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I can.
We're gonna start the digestive
yes.
process pretty soon, and I'll get back to you when that starts, because that's
Cool.
probably gonna be fun.
So, this is the first episode I got to use my new pop filter too.
Yeah, he
Which
has the
is pretty
same
cool.
pop filter I have. The same pop filter I have.
Yeah. Thought it was pretty neat because it blocks out my gross noises.
Mm-hmm. Like your
Mhm.
and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
That were very apparent. So you could see this episode was, pretty decent length, 6 minutes. Longer than the
That's-
last one.
We're still
had-
going pretty well known right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the next episode is a bit more obscure.
Yeah. And to get back on the topic of this episode.
But our plan is to get more and more obscure over time.
Yep.
Don't you worry.
Yep. And then, of course, there'll be some wacky ones, too, in there.
Wacky,
Some pretty crazy ones in there, too.
pretty cringy ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, biblical aliens, that's a pretty well known topic. There's ancient
And I
aliens
actually
from
hadn't even... Yeah.
whatever.
Biblical aliens is kind of like a branch off of ancient
That's
aliens.
true.
Because ancient aliens is like,
More ancient than biblical aliens, I
right,
guess.
like the Stonehenge or the Easter Island heads or the temples and stuff that's all over
Yeah.
Machu Picchu. Even though that's obviously not aliens, because we know the
So-
origins of that place. But anyway,
And what we did for this episode was, we kind of, sorry, I got a frog in my throat.
okay.
We kind of, like, split off on our own topics. He did more, like,
I went
the
off-
history behind it, and I did more of the artwork behind it.
Yeah. Well, okay. So it was biblical artwork where you
Yep.
could see like UFOs, and then there's
Yes.
also the references in the Bible itself,
Yeah.
which I know more about. So I kind of went off that on my own, and then
And I'm a bit
Gabe
more
here did the
knowledgeable.
art.
I'm more knowledgeable about artwork.
Yes.
I know my Italian Renaissance artist just off the top of my head.
I messed up on a few things, but I tried to correct it.
Mm.
I said that John and Peter were prophets. They were actually saints, hence Saint John, Saint Peter.
Saint
Peter,
McCartney.
Saint Peter, won't you call me, 'cause I can go. Oh, my soul. Yep.
Was there a Paul McCartney there?
No. Paul
Dang.
McCartney's not a saint, he's a sir. 'Cause he's a knight.
You never know. Maybe the original one was a saint.
Who knows? No, there was Saint Paul. There was a Saint Paul, but it wasn't Saint Paul McCartney.
I wanted to mention an idea I had earlier that I may. It's a good conspiracy theory.
Mhm.
I call it the Harry Potter diarrhea theory. I'd like to bring that up really quick.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Deathly Hallows. Voldemort killed Harry Potter. If we know anything about dead bodies, is that they.
I was trying to. No. I just
You-
spilled water all.
If we know anything about dead bodies, is that they evacuate, So my theory is that Harry Potter was covered in diarrhea for the rest of the movie. The end.
Yep. And the only reason why he won was because Voldemort got distracted
and disgusted
by his smell.
Anyway, back to the point. Back to the actual point in hand.
Yes.
You're getting very distracted.
So, I started working on the script like a week ago when Fresno Nightcrawlers came out.
Yep.
And then I just wasn't very motivated to do this one, so I kind of let it go until today.
I found this episode to be more difficult to write than the other two.
Yeah. It's not that obscure. It's just
I think it's just the topic.
Think that visions in the Bible were actually aliens, which I guess is pretty weird to think about. But
I suppose it just considers the topic.
Right. And this next topic should be pretty good. I researched it a little bit before we started talking prior to this, and it's pretty deep. There's a lot of stuff to it.
I'm excited to mention a branch of that part, which I might bring up during this next episode. I'll tell you about it after the podcast.
Right. Anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Yes.
I thought the baptism painting that you put in there, if you look at the UFO thing, you'll clearly see that there's a dove in the middle there.
I didn't know.
Because in the Bible story, a dove comes down from heaven and blesses everyone. So that's what that white thing was in the middle. I mentioned that's why I put that
I noticed.
on the script.
Yeah, in the script.
Yeah, because
I was like, oh, that must be something I missed.
Yeah, it's like an actual it's a dove. It's not a UFO. The one on the Madonna, whatever.
Yeah.
That one's it's a little weird. It kind of looks like a flaming meatball in a way.
Yeah.
When you zoom in on it.
I just assumed that it's supposed to be like an angel or something.
Right.
Flying
Probably is. Or it could be just like an eye or something.
And it seems like people have weird interpretations for biblical things.
Right. What it could be is
an alien?
No, it could be. But it could actually be like the artist's trademark, maybe? He marked it as let me put this on here to make it my own, so it's
I'm not sure.
unique.
I looked at a lot of his other artwork and there was nothing like that.
Oh.
I just kind of went through his entire...
Like Giovanni? Or whatever his name is?
Or it was... No, that was the character in the painting, Giovannino.
Oh, yeah.
It was... I forgot how to pronounce it, because I needed to pronounce it once, and I had to do it 20 separate times because I couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, you can tell in the episode that you cut. You go,
I know.
This is Madonna and Giovanni by and dun, or whatever.
It was honestly really difficult to pronounce it.
Yeah.
You try to pronounce it.
Enunciation. That was the one hard one I had, but I got that pretty quickly.
Honestly, Italian names are pretty difficult.
Yeah.
It's either
like Pablo or Mario,
It seems like Italian names are either spaghetti or
linguini.
Blanco.
Linguini,
It's usually something pretty simple like linguini.
Or fettuccine.
Or something like Giovannino.
Yeah, Giovanni, linguini, Luigi, ravioli, spaghetti, ziti,
sometimes
bow tie,
giorno, or maybe
angel hair.
I've been doing some Italian lessons lately. I'm not very good at it though.
Oh boy.
I know the word giornale. That's newspaper. Crazy, right?
Yeah. Yep. I just saw something, sorry. It's pretty good.
But honestly, there's not that much to talk about with the biblical aliens.
No.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. What else?
This was kind of a bear topic.
Yeah.
Bear.
We kind of when we were picking out episodes for season 1. We're kind of like, well, there's this one, I guess. We can just throw that in there.
Could have switched it with something more interesting, like the one I mentioned earlier.
There's one thing I forgot to mention in the Ezekiel story. You'll see in the picture in the main episode where there's like the wheels. Gabe obviously hasn't seen it yet because he hasn't watched the main episode by the time of doing this, but he's read the script and so he knows what happens anyway. You see Ezekiel holding a scroll. In the story, he has to eat the scroll. Like, this is in there. He eats the scroll, and then they take him to the temple. Like, he gets instructed to eat the scroll, and so he eats the scroll.
Nice.
And he's doing that in the picture. I didn't mention that in the...
At least he's dedicated.
Right. Right. And then
most people
Ezekiel's gone through some crazy stuff. Let me tell you. Like, there's this one time he wakes up in a field, just surrounded by bones. Just bones everywhere. And then all of a sudden the bones grow skin and stuff. So now he's surrounded by a bunch of corpses. Then the corpses get up. So now he's surrounded by a bunch of zombies. And then, like, life goes into the zombies, and then they become, like, an army.
Okay.
And that's also where the Ezekiel called them dry bones. The right bones connect to the left bone. That's what that song comes from.
Ezekiel must have been quite the character.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a whole book named after him.
He must have had a lot of stories to tell at the pub.
I mean, he's got a whole book named after him.
But he was chilling at the pub and, like, somebody ordered, someone's like, yeah, can I have a scroll chaser? That's the name of a beer in this time period, of an alcoholic beverage at this time. And Ezekiel's like, tell you what about a scroll? There was this one time when I was instructed to eat a scroll.
And I did.
Ain't that crazy?
And then I got abducted by aliens at the same time. And then they'll be like, well, those weren't aliens, Ezekiel. Those were actually just wheels with eyes on them.
Some weird stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. There's also a guy named Daniel. Daniel in the Lion's Den. It's pretty famous story out of there. Same guy.
I remember that one.
Same guy. He got like a bunch of stuff, like prophecies sent to him about the apocalypse. Like he saw the apocalypse. Like he saw like meteors raining down from the sky and like fire raining.
He saw somebody with an iPhone.
Yeah.
Just making a TikTok.
Well, he could have actually. Like
maybe.
Who knows?
Probably just left that part out.
Yeah, he was probably like, yeah, that's not important. Even though, in reality, it really was important to not leave out.
The TikToker.
Yeah. He should have let, and I beheld a young woman. In her hand was a cellular device.
I don't think you know what the word cellular means.
In her hand
a strange
object of light.
Yep.
On
that excreted sound.
Yeah. She appeared to be doing an unholy dance. She appeared to be doing an unholy dance. And the words appeared like lightning on her tablet thing.
Yep. On her tablet.
They had tablets at that point.
Yeah.
Not like, kids. Okay, kids. Here's a lesson for you. Okay, here's a lesson for you. Tablets doesn't necessarily just refer to pills or electrical tablets. Do you know what a stone tablet is? It's
do you know what a stone is?
Okay, do you know what a rock is? Let's start there and work our way. So, if you take a rock and flatten it, like carve it flat, that's a stone tablet. And they would carve words into them in order to write stories because they didn't have paper or pens. What's a pen? What's a pen, you may ask? A pen. Well, I'm holding one right now, but you can't see that. But a pen is like a writing utensil. I know you guys use like keyboards and like iPhones and that kind of stuff now, but a pen is something we geezers used to write with in school or at home to draw stuff, or but that's what a stone tablet was.
New lesson for millennials.
Yeah, for all you millennials out there.
Despite the fact that neither of us are millennials.
They're like older than us.
Yep.
Okay, what comes after Gen Z then? Gen Y?
No, Gen Y is like...
That's like our parents.
Yeah. Right before the boomers.
No, Gen Y was after boomers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like boomers...
Because before boomers was silent.
Yeah, it's silent. Boomers. Y, millennial, X, or Z.
X. It's Generation X.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, this wasn't a lesson to millennials. We're sorry if we offended you millennials. I'm sorry.
Or boomers.
Or you boomers out there. This was for the Gen X kids. Like the Fortnite kids. What's Fortnite, you may ask? Boomers? Okay, boomers. You know what Fortnite is? Fortnite is a video game. What's a video game? A video game is like watching like TV. If you're watching Dr. Phil, okay?
Like a motion picture.
Yeah, so it's like watching Dr. Phil on TV. But
no,
Dr. Phil is controllable.
I guess baby boomers were Gen X, actually.
Oh. What's the new one, then?
We're at Gen Z.
Yeah, there's one after Gen Z, though. Gen Z goes from like 98 through 2007 or something.
Gen Alpha.
Oh, they get a nice name, and we just stick with Z.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We're between. For anybody that knows, we are both Gen Z, so that means we're between the ages of 8 and 25.
But we're early Gen Z, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much.
We're close to the middle,
We're
kind of.
closer to 25 than we are 8.
Yeah. We're legally adults.
Yes.
There you go. We're legally...
But we're not the lost generation where we're between the ages of 105 to 130.
There's probably a few of them. I know my aunt, my great aunt Ada, is 107.
Dang.
So she's one of those.
That's old.
Yeah. She lives on her own.
Yeah.
By herself. And can cook for herself and all that. She's getting slower now, though.
Yeah.
And she kind of wants to die, to be honest. She's like, I'm ready to go.
I would be too if I was 107.
She's like, I'm ready to go. I just keep going. Like, her birthday was like last month.
Yeah.
And now she's 107. So she knows what it was like 100 years ago, because usually you don't remember stuff until you're 4. So she knows what life was like 100 years ago.
Wow.
She knows what the 20s were like.
Was everything black and white?
Yeah, you should ask them that. She knows.
Anyway, we've got to get back to the point.
She knows.
There's not much to talk about with biblical aliens, though.
Yeah, that's why I've been getting off topic. It's not necessarily alien. Like, UFOs aren't necessarily aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make that clear.
Exactly.
It's unidentified flying object.
Just something that we
like
don't
those videos
understand.
that were released last week.
Yep. By
the.
Well, they've been out for a while.
Yeah, they've been out
but
since
they were
like
just
September. But they were
like. They were just
Okay, so it was the Pentagon or something that released them in
No,
September.
It was the
and the Navy.
The singer of Blink 182 that leaked them, I think.
It was?
Yes. I know the singer of Blink 182 is involved.
Really?
Yes.
All the small things.
Yeah, that guy.
In the car, I just can't wait.
Yeah. But,
So these things could be UFOs. Technically they are. Like
yeah,
the
we don't
Ezekiel
know
thing, the ring, the 2 wheels, those are technically UFOs.
Yeah.
Just not alien UFOs.
That we know of.
That we know of, right. I mean, they could be. It could have been sent like a vision, like, there is life on other planets, man. Listen here, boy. I'm going to show you. And then he got show that, and then he was like, I got to write this down somewhere. And then he wrote it. And then we're talking about it now.
See this guy right there? Yeah, that guy lives on Saturn. Yeah, I bet you don't even know what Saturn is there, huh, Ezekiel?
I bet you think we still revolve around the sun. I mean, I bet you think the sun revolves around us.
Yep. And
was Galileo around? No, he wasn't. This was Old Testament. No. This was like 4000 BC or something around there. Actually, it was probably closer to 0.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like 800 BC. It was probably around Greece time.
Well, we'll stick with that.
Ancient Greece time. This was probably when this came out. So this was like Galileo was around at that point, wasn't he?
I don't know.
In Greece? Wasn't he from Greece? Or was he from Rome?
Let's find out.
Because I know Aristotle was from Greece.
Nope, you're definitely wrong.
Oh, Galileo?
He was born in 1564.
Oh.
In Italy.
Well, who was the guy that said that the Earth doesn't... said that the planets don't revolve around Earth? I thought it was Galileo.
Let's find out.
No, Galileo made the telescope. Didn't he? Or something like that?
Trying to find who made it up.
It was Apollo. That's who made it. There we go.
Copernicus.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been 2 years since I took that class, so...
Yeah, me too.
I can't remember everything.
Let's see.
Gosh, kids. Gosh.
He was around in 1473 in Poland.
1470?
Yes.
What? Okay, well... Oh, it was Aristotle that was around in Greece. So he was out there. He was out there being like, yeah, learning. And then Ezekiel may have talked to him and been like, hey, boy, I saw UFOs. And he was like,
hey,
UFOs don't exist. And then he was like, well, I'm going to write it down anyway. And then he wrote it down, and now we're talking about it.
Yeah, like hundreds of thousands
of years
billions
later.
Of years later.
Like gazillion years later.
Yeah. We just skateboarded to the ice cream parlor and got ourselves a sody pop and then started recording.
Yep, we're at the ice cream parlor right now.
Yep.
Hey Julio.
The owner told
us. Here.
The owner told us to leave multiple times. He said he's going to call the cops on us.
No, Julio's over there.
No.
Hey Julio. 2 more. Okay, on the house. Thanks, Julio.
Yep.
Yeah, Julio's a nice guy, except that he wants to kick us out.
Mm-hmm. But for some reason, he's still giving us free ice cream.
Oh, you guys are making a podcast or something.
Okay.
Kind of sounds like Watto.
But,
Hey, Julio, you sound like Watto.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This episode wasn't as interesting as usual, but I think things are going to start picking up after it.
I think the thumbnail was really good, though.
It was,
because it took forever to make. Yeah. Not really. It just took a really long time to crop out the UFO thing with the beat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because I have a broken mouse, and it'll double-click.
Nice.
By mistake, and I'll have to start over, so... But I got it.
Well... Yeah, I think the rest of the season starts getting pretty interesting.
Yeah, it should start getting really good now. We've gotten past the first 3 introductory episodes, and now we're moving on to the big boys.
Yep.
Coming up here.
Let's see.
And with that, I think it's about time we...
I might want to change episode 6 to something a bit more obscure, but, we'll talk about it here.
Let me check episode 6. Actually, do I even have it saved? I don't know. Do I have episode 6 saved? Oh, yeah, maybe we should change it.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Who knows?
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that. When with that, I think we should wrap up.
I'd like to give a little sneak peek or a little nudge to the people that actually watch this. Our next episode, we're gonna dive into true crime.
Oh boy.
Potentially true crime.
Whoa. Yeah, potentially. Potentially Chris Chan.
That too. Chris Chan is involved a little bit.
Just a little. But we'll mention that. Alright. Stay curious.
And join us again next time.
Yep. We still haven't made an outro. See you guys next time.
Bye-bye. Granddad.
Flintstones?